विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So Hare Krishna. Last Thursday we completed chapter 16, so which is entitled Executing the Payovrata Process of Worship. So in this chapter, we discussed how Mother Aditi was very much deeply sorry not able to see her sons around. They had to flee from the heavenly planets. They were hiding here and there, and they lost their kingdom, they lost their opulences, and they had no shelter. They were hiding. So Mother Aditi was saddened to see this, and when Kashyapa Muni, her husband, came back arose out of the meditation and approached Mother Aditi. She did not look well at all. Then Kashyapa Muni inquired why she was looking deeply disturbed. That time Mother Aditi mentions about the situation concerning her sons, demigods, and she wanted him to provide a solution in order for her sons to come back and occupy the heavenly planet. Kashyapa Muni initially mentioned, you are very much attached to your bodily, relationship, something like that. But when she insisted, Kashyapa Muni then instructed her, and he said that, okay, I have a solution. The solution is that I had received a special vrata, or a vow, that was recommended to me by Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma had instructed me to satisfy the Lord to beget the children. So this process is called payovrata. Payo means milk. In Sanskrit, the sweet rice which is made up of milk is called payovrata. Payasam. Payasam means sweet rice. Let me just check 1 second something there. So yeah, payo means milk. Let me see. So, uh, he had detailed the process of Payovrata to Mother Aditi. It mainly consists of fasting, um, actually subsisting on milk for 12 days, being clean, and worshipping the Supreme Lord with various paraphernalia and making nice sweet rice, offering it to the Lord, then accepting the remnants and also offer nice boga to the Lord and then distribute to brahmanas. uh, so and the prasadam should be distributed to all kinds of it should be distributed indiscriminately, um, and mm, so the detailed rituals, the procedure is given. uh, um, so so that's what been described. This process, this is the best process for pleasing transcendental personality, Lord Vishnu. Therefore, my dear gentle lady, follow this ritualistic vow, strictly observing the regulative principles. By this process, the Supreme Person will very soon be pleased with you and will satisfy your desires. Hmm? Uh, so, Kashyapa, husband of Aditi, had instructed her like this, to execute Payovrata ceremony, uh, Payovrata ritual. So then we come to today's chapter. Um, so in today's chapter, we can see that chapter 18 hmm, is entitled The Supreme Lord Agrees to Become Aditi's Son. So, um, So as explained in this chapter, in the previous chapter, as explained in the previous chapter, Aditi performed the Prayovata ceremony for 12 continuous days. Hmm? And here, so she strictly followed the instructions of her husband without laziness, and in this way performed Payovrata ritualistic ceremony. Hmm? So this is a very important point which we will discuss a little bit elaborately. Um, some important lessons Prabhupada highlights here. Please make note. So here it is mentioned as advised by her husband. Here in this case, who was Aditi's guru? Her husband. Kashyapa Muni was her guru. Hmm? What did she do following that instructions? Following receiving the instructions, strictly followed the instructions without laziness. Strictly followed the instructions without laziness. So let's see what Prabhupada writes, this simple and sweet purport. For advancement in anything, especially in spiritual life, one must strictly follow the bona fide instructions of the teacher. Aditi did this. She strictly followed the instructions of her husband and guru, as confirmed in the Vedic injunctions. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tata gurau. One should have complete faith in the Guru who helps the disciple make progress in spiritual life. As soon as the disciple thinks independently, not caring for the instructions of the spiritual master, is a failure. Yes, yasya prasadhan na gati kutopi. Aditi very strictly followed the instructions of her husband and spiritual master, and thus she was successful. So, for us, the important instruction is follow the instructions given by Srila Prabhupada. Um, so, Srila Prabhupada advised us to chant Hare Krishna mantra on beats and chant 16 rounds and follow four regulative principles, mm, and do not offend anyone. Mm. And that's it. And when there is a deviation occurs from these instructions, we have to come back. When we read the scriptures, one thing is many devotees do not read the scriptures. Number one, even if we read, we don't introspect ourselves and we do not take the matter seriously. So sometimes it is, we say that yes, hearing Bhagavatam will help you, hearing Bhagavatam will help you, reading Bhagavatam will help you. It does, but there is another factor also. It says, Grunatascha swacheshtitam. It also depends on us how seriously we are taking that matter. We have to see, are we aligning ourselves with Bhagavatam, what is given in the Bhagavatam? You understand? This is a very key point. So if not, then we should endeavor. Keep on endeavoring. So, yeah. And Prabhupada writes this, that following like that. Prabhupada followed, he could not achieve success for a long time. His spiritual master had given him instructions, and he could not fulfill his spiritual master order for a long time, but yet he continued to endeavor, and at the end there was perfection. Then in that connection, while reading this purport, I also remembered, there are a few things that I remembered. Can any of you recollect any pastimes from Srimad Bhagavatam wherein the disciple executing the orders of spiritual masters properly and achieving success? Yes,
Krishna
sir.
and Arjuna on the battlefield.
Yes, Arjuna, that's fine. Arjuna had, yes, he had obeyed Krishna's order.
And
And yeah,
Dhruv
that's
Maharaj,
fine.
yeah. And Dhruv Maharaj, with Narad Muni's instruction,
Wow, Nisha Devi. Yeah, so I was reading. How do you know this?
I was reading myself about Dhruv Maharaj's pastime. So in
Ah,
Bhagavatam,
wow.
so I was just trying
So,
to understand.
that's what
Mm.
I got here. There are a few things, but that's what I got here. It's
Mm.
exactly Dhruv Maharaj one here. Elsewhere, Dhruv Maharaj, having arrived at Madhuban, took his bath in the river Yamuna, and observed fasting in the night with great care and attention. After that, as advised by sage Narada, he engaged himself in worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nisha Mata, you want to read the purport?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll read the report. The significance of this particular verse is that Dhruv Maharaj acted exactly according to the advice of his spiritual master, the great sage Narad. Srila V. Vivasanta Chakravarti also advised,
Vishwanatha Chakravarti.
Vishwanatha Chakravarti also advised that if we want to be successful in our attempt to go back to Godhead, we must very seriously act according to the instruction of the spiritual master. That is the way of perfection. There need to be no anxiety over attaining perfection, because if one follows the instruction given by the spiritual master, he is sure to attain the perfection. Our only concern should be how to execute the order of spiritual master. A spiritual master is expert in giving special instruction to each of his disciple, and if the disciple executes the order of spiritual master, that is the way of his perfection.
Mm,
Thank you.
thank you. So, Narada Muni, when Dhruva Maharaj left the palace on the advice of his mother Suniti, Suniti advised Dhruva Maharaj to go to forest and worship Lord Vishnu if he want to achieve success. And while he was going to forest, that time, of course, he was only 5 year old. Um, I, he met Narada Muni. When you have that sincere desire to worship the Lord will send his devotee. Lord will put you in connection with his devotees when you have sincere desire to worship. So that's what had happened. When Dhruv Maharaj was going to the forest, Narada Muni appeared, and then he tried to actually send him back home. But Narada Muni said, if you have something, uh, some practical approach, a way forward to see the Lord face to face, tell me. Otherwise, please, leave, something like that. So Narada Muni then detailed the process, how to worship the Supreme Lord, what to be done, etc. And Dhruva Maharaj exactly had followed it. Mm. Uh, so this is an example. And in the story of Mrugari, Mrugari hunter. So yeah, and Narad guided him, and he also followed the path instructions properly. And even in the life of Narada Muni, in the previous life as a son of maid servant, he heard from the Bhaktivedantas, and then he followed their instructions as as it is. And you know then he actually, when he put them in practice under the banyan tree, he could see the Lord within his heart. Mm. So these are a couple of examples. So sometimes, yeah, what we have to see is, we have to follow these instructions best of our abilities, right? Lord sees, sometimes we are not able to follow a particular instruction for some time because of a particular reason. That's okay when there is a reason. Lord sees the sincerity. So when everything is there, when all circumstances are okay, but you are not able to follow, that's when the problem comes. If we have a genuine reason to not able to follow a certain thing, Lord will consider that definitely. Mm. Lord sees the sincerity. Okay. So I wanted to take a little time and speak on that verse. So I took some time, and we'll go back to chapter. Yeah, back to our chapter. So with full undiverted attention, uh, Aditi worshipped the Supreme Lord. By worshipping the Supreme Lord, she brought our mind and senses under control. The mind and senses are like forceful horses that drag you to different places. But when Mother Aditi had um, rendered a devotion, she could control our mind and senses. Uh, so when we execute um, devotional service properly, then we will also see this result. Prabhupada writes, the devotee does not need to practice hatha yoga to control the mind and senses. The mind and senses are automatically controlled because of unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. Hmm. So she executed this Payovrata ceremony for 12 days like this, as she was instructed, uh, with full attention, and so bringing our mind and senses under control. So what happened that time? Um, so the original personality of Godhead, dressed in yellow garments and holding the conch shell, disc, club, and lotus in his four hands, appeared in front of Aditi. Mm. So this is the famous picture that is usually shown. Let me show to you as well. Uh, here, just there. So the beautiful form of the Lord is shown here. This is how Lord appeared in front of Mother Aditi. Hmm. Um, so how did she feel when Lord appeared? Hmm. Aditi was so overwhelmed by transcendental bliss, and she at once stood up and fell like a rod on the ground, offering respectable obeisances. Hmm. So we see this in the case of Dhruv Maharaj also. If we go back and see, um, Dhruv Maharaj. So when Dhruv Maharaj saw the Lord just in front of him, um, you know, he fell flat before him like a rod. uh, and in ecstasy, Dhruv Maharaj looked upon the Lord as if he were drinking the Lord with his eyes. um, and kissing the lotus feet of the Lord with his mouth and embracing the Lord with his arms. Mm. So he was actually trembling, and he was a small boy. He wanted to offer prayers, but he could not. And seeing Dhruv Maharaj's upward position, Out of causeless mercy, the Lord just he touched his conch shell to the forehead of Dhruv Maharaj, and then Dhruv Maharaj started offering prayers to the Lord. Um, so she, after offering obeisances, Mother Aditi, she stood silently with folded hands, unable to offer praise to the Lord. It's difficult, isn't it? Sometimes, when you see the Lord, she was not able to offer. She was in that jubilant, very jubilant. Mm. And there is extreme transcendental bliss, and tears were filled with, sorry, tears filled her eyes, and the hairs on her body stood on end, uh, because she could see the Lord face to face. She felt ecstasy, and her body trembled. Mm. And so she offered prayers in faltering voice with great love. She appeared, here also it is mentioned, she appeared as though drinking through her eyes the Supreme Lord. Same thing was mentioned in Dhruv Maharaj case was also, it was mentioned, that Dhruv Maharaj was drinking the Lord with his eyes, looking upon him. Here also same thing was mentioned. Hmm. Um, so yeah, what did she say? 7. She said. So she addressed the Lord as Ramapati, Yajnapati, Jagatpatim. Ramapati, mm, is that means Lord of Goddess of Fortune. So indirectly, she is saying that you are husband of Lakshmi, so you would be able to bestow opulences, the lost opulences on my sons. Yajnapatim, because by worshipping this Prayovata ceremony, he appeared. So that's why she addressed him as Yajnapati, Jagatpati. So he is the master of the universe. Hmm. Um, so yeah, so it is mentioned a few things here. And all the holy places they take shelter at his lotus feet. Hmm. Um, so it is said he is addressed as Tirthapada. Tirthapada means indicating that all the holy places are at his lotus feet. Hmm. What is Ganga? Ganga is water touched by, washed the lotus feet of the Lord. That became a holy river. Uh, uh, so whatever touches, whatever Lord touches with his lotus feet, we drink charanamrit. We bathe the Lord, and that bathing the water washes the lotus feet of the Lord, and we you know mercifully, gladly accept that. So he is called Tirthapath. Uh, so like that, she offered prayers. Uh, hmm. So when Mother Aditi offered prayers like this, the Lord spoke as follows. Hmm. Lord said, O Mother of the demigods, I've already understood your long cherished desires for the welfare of your sons, who have been deprived of all opulences and driven from their residence by their enemies. So here, Lord knows the desire. In the case of Dhruv Maharaj also, Dhruv Maharaj did not actually ask for anything. Uh, Dhruv Maharaj, you know, he knows the purpose. Lord knew the purpose why Dhruv Maharaj worshipped. And Lord gave that boon, benediction to Dhruv Maharaj without Dhruv Maharaj actually asking for it. Here also, Lord being situated in everyone's heart, he knows. hmm, Um, yeah, so he knows the things and he will do the needful. Hmm. And he said, I already understood your long cherished desires. Oh goddess, I can understand that you want to regain your sons and be together with them to worship me uh, after defeating the enemies in the battle and retrieving your abode and opulences. Mm. Um, you want your sons to regain their lost reputation and opulence and live again on their heavenly planet as usual. And he says, O mother of the demigods, in my opinion, almost all the chiefs of demons are now unconquerable. He says, uh, demons at the moment are unconquerable because why they're unconquerable? They are being protected by Brahmanas. Hmm. Thus, the use of power against them now will not at all be a source of happiness. So there is something important here. Lord says that currently, yes, I understand your desire, but in my opinion, the chief captains of chiefs of demons are all unconquerable because they are favored by Brahmanas, protected by Brahmanas. So, you know, thus, to use any power against them will not be any use. So here Prabhupada writes that, if someone is protected by a Brahmana, even the Supreme Lord doesn't interfere. Uh, when a person is favored by Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, no one can defeat him. Even the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not interfere uh, when one is protected by a Brahmana. Hmm? Uh, Therefore, if Brahmanas favor someone, the Lord does not interfere, nor can anyone interfere with the happiness of such persons. So then he says, yeah, yet because I've been satisfied with your worship, O goddess Aditi, I will find some means to favor you. Your worship will not go in vain, but certainly gives the desired result according to what you have desiring. You've been desiring. Hmm? You worshipped me properly, and hmm, for the sake of protecting your sons. So I am happy. Because of Kashyapa Muni's austerities, I shall agree to become your son and thus protect your other sons. So Mother Aditi had this desire. That's it. She had a desire to, bring her son back to the heavenly planets and regain the lost opulences, the kingdom, lost kingdom. But she didn't know the way forward. The only way forward was worshipping Lord Vishnu. Kashyapa was also very clever that when Mother Aditi had this desire, he directed towards Lord Vishnu. He directed her, he engaged her in the worship of the Lord. Mm. So she didn't know the way forward, exactly what the Lord is going to do, but Lord Himself said. She did not ask him to be the Lord to become her son. She just had that desire, but Lord felt that it is the best way forward. So He says that I'll become your son and thus protect your other sons. Hmm? And so, always think of me and worship your husband, hmm, who has been very much purified by his austerity. Uh, uh, and then he says some important point that, the discussion that happened between you and me, do not disclose it to anyone. And here comes the point. That which is very confidential is successful if kept secret. So this is an important point. My father used to tell me this. That which is very confidential is successful if kept secret. So do not disclose this to anyone. Hmm. Um, so yeah, after speaking like this, a Lord disappeared from that very spot, and Aditi, after receiving this extremely valuable benediction that the Lord would appear as her son, um, considered herself to be extremely fortunate and successful. With great devotion, she approached her husband, and Kashyapa Muni could see in trance that a plenary portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead entered within him. Hmm? And then he transferred uh, that Supreme Lord to Aditi. Hmm? So Prabhupada writes a long purport. If you read Krishna book, there is how Krishna was born as appeared in the womb of Devaki as eighth pregnancy. That he was appeared in the mind of Vasudev, from the mind of Vasudev to he has been transferred to the mind of Devaki or heart of Devaki, something like that had been mentioned. Hmm? Um, so Lord appeared. Does anybody remember to Aditi and Kashyapa, their previous birth? In the previous birth, Aditi was called Prishni and Kashyapa was called or was known as Vasudev. Hmm? So that time Lord appeared to them as Prishni Garbha. Hmm? This was detailed in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The second time now Lord will appear as Vaman, now entered the womb of Mother Aditi. His appearance will happen next Thursday. We will discuss that. That's the second time. And third time, does anybody remember? Vasudeva and Devaki. So in the prison house, when Krishna appeared, Krishna discloses this secret to Devaki and Vasudeva that he had he became their son in the past two times. First, as Prushnigarbha, when Devaki was known as Prishni, and Vasudev was known as Vasudev that time also. In the second time as Vamandev to Mother Aditi and Kashyapa. Same personalities, but you know, they had taken birth again. And third time, that same Aditi is now appeared as Devaki. That same Kashyapa now appeared as Vasudev. And Lord initially appeared in his Chaturbuja, four-armed form in the prison house. And then, when Mother Devaki said, how can I praise you like this? And then he transformed himself into little boy Krishna. Hmm. Um, yeah. So, and when Lord entered the womb of Aditi, um, Lord Brahma understood that the supreme hmm, uh, personality of Godhead was now within the womb of Aditi, and he began to offer prayers to the Lord by reciting transcendental names. Um, so, and this also happened when Devaki was pregnant in the prison house, um, eighth time, when when Mother Devaki was carrying Krishna. Um, mm, so when she was pregnant, all the demigods, they came and they offered prayers. This is called Garbhastuti, prayers to the embryo mm, within the womb of Mother Devaki. So all the demigods, including Brahma, it was actually headed by Brahma, Indra, etc. Everybody comes and they took this opportunity to offer prayers to the Lord. Here also, Lord Brahma came down and offered prayers to the Lord within the womb of Mother Aditi. Um, and he did the same as also, like, Brahma offered prayers to Kapila Muni when he was in the womb of Devavati. Uh, that comes in that we studied in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Mm. So, whenever we get whenever Lord Brahma gets a chance, then he offers these prayers. Uh, uh, yeah, so this chapter basically ends with the prayers of prayers by Brahma, and in the next chapter, the Lord will appear as Vamandev from the womb of Mother Aditi, and then he will devise a plan uh, to approach Bali Maharaj and ask for three pieces of land and get everything back from Bali Maharaj, then hand overs to Indra. But that will be several chapters that we will discuss in due course. So, in today's chapter, entitled as Supreme Lord agrees to become Aditi's son. Um, so, we discussed how Mother Aditi strictly observed the instructions given by her husband and Guru, Kashyapa Muni, and executed Payovrata ceremony, subsisting on only milk for 12 days. Um, and she did this with undiverted attention, uh, uh, bringing her mind and senses under control. She executed this vow, Payovrata, for 12 days and thereby satisfied the Supreme Lord Vishnu. And lo and behold, uh, she, the Lord appeared in front of her, uh, being pleased by Mother Aditi's devotion of devotion by executing this ceremony, Payovrata ritual. And she was very pleased to see the Lord. The Lord, how did he appear? Yellow garments and holding these four things: conch shell, the maize, the lotus flower, uh, and the disc. Mm. Um, and she was extremely having, she had a transcendental bliss. She was trembling like anything. Her hair stood on end. She was not able to speak because of overjoy. And eventually, and actually, she fell flat as a rod in front of the Lord. And then she eventually managed to offer some prayers. Um, and the Lord spoke to her and said that, um, so I knew the reason why you worshipped me. And you wanted your sons to come back, regain the kingdom, be with you so that you all can worship me. You wanted the demons to completely be destroyed or defeated. Mm. But now is not the time to use power against these demons, because they are now being protected by Brahmanas. So then he says, yes, even then, I will devise a plan. I will favor you because you made me, I am pleased with your worship. Mm. You see, like Lord tricked the demons and distributed the nectar to the demigods. Um, and but now some or other they lost their kingdom again. Lord is devising a plan to bring the kingdom back, because the demigods are devotees of the Lord. Mm. Krishna will, although he is equal to everyone, samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshosti na priya ye bhajantu tumam bhaktya maite teshu chapeham. I'm equally disposed. Although I'm equally disposed, although Krishna is equally disposed, but he will show special favor to his devotees. So here, demigods also his devotees. He will always show some favoritism, special mercy to the demigods. And the Lord said, yes, I agree to become your son. You worship Kashyapa, and who is very purified by executing his austerities. He is very pure. You worship him, and then I will become your son, like that. And Kashyapa then realized within short time that a plenary portion of the Supreme Lord had entered him, and he had transferred that into Aditi, and Aditi becomes pregnant. And the Lord entered the womb of Mother Aditi. Knowing this, Lord Brahma arrived and offered prayers to the Supreme Lord within the womb of Aditi, and the Lord will appear um, in the next chapter as Vamandev. So we will stop here. That the main instructions for us is to execute the instructions given by Srila Prabhupada. Um, mm, so that is the main instruction, main lesson for all of us. And we had seen how Dhruv Maharaj also strictly followed the instructions given to him by Narada Muni and achieved success. So we should endeavor to our level best to follow these instructions um, sincerely. eh. Sometimes, with because of our circumstances, we may not be able to execute some little things, but Lord will understand it. But sincerely, we should try our level best to execute the orders of spiritual master. When we try, Krishna sees the endeavor. Okay, this person is trying to execute the instructions given by my devotee Srila Prabhupada. I must, be satisfied with this person. That's how Krishna thinks. Mm. So that's the main instructions for us from this chapter. Hare Krishna. So, Krishna willing, we shall meet next Thursday and discuss the appearance of Sri Vamandev.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I just
Hare
want to
Krishna.
ask you one question.
Sure, sure.
The Great Bear Planet, which we see on night sky, Saptarishi Mandal, is that Dhruv Maharaj planet?
They Saptarishis circumambulate Dhruva Maharaj.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not the Dhruva Maharaj planet.
Is it not? Okay.
Yes, Saptarishi Mandal means seven sages.
Hmm.
They circumambulate planet Dhruva.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
So pole star, Dhruva is in English called it's pole star. It's very bright.
Okay.
So yeah, it
Okay.
indicates the north
Okay.
direction.
Okay.
Uh, Saptarishis, the seven great sages, they circumambulate because actually Lord actually lives on that planet.
Hmm.
Lord as the residence, so on that planet.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Vandana
Krishna.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So please do attend. We will slowly discuss, and it's 1 hour is enough. So at least weekly 1 hour means it's a lot. We can at least 1 hour we can complete one chapter. But being in touch when we read, these words and hear these words from Srimad Bhagavatam, it's like we are in touch with the Supreme Lord. Hmm. So please do attend. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.